called prior written notice. It's everything. Let me tell you what it's for. Prior written notice by the public agency, the content of that notice. Now, the only time they use this notice is prior written notice that meets the requirements of paragraph yada, yada, yada. When the school district of a child with a section must be given to the parents of a child with a disability a reasonable time before the public agency proposes to initiate or change the identification, evaluation, or educational placement of the child or the provision of FAPE to the child. Okay? Now, goes on to say the content of the notice. The notice has to have in it a description of the action proposed or refused by the district. So refused means you asked them to do something, they said no. They can't just say no and walk away. Okay? A description of each evaluation, procedure, assessment, record, or report the agency used as a basis for the proposed or refused action. So if they're proposing to do a 3-year reeval, they have to tell you all of that stuff. Why? A statement that the parents of a child with a disability have protection under procedural safeguards of this part, and if this notice is not an initial referral for evaluation, the means by which a copy of a description of the procedural safeguards can be obtained. That means that when they send you this prior written notice, that will also include consent to evaluate, they must also include the documents regarding your rights to dispute or refuse or anything of their proposal. So here's the law. Okay, did you get all of that? Did you get prior written notice explaining all of that? If you didn't, they're in violation. Okay, they're in violation, and you didn't give consent. Even if it's a reevaluation, they can't just do shit. If it's a reevaluation, they have to get your consent. They have to tell you what assessments they're using, and if there's something in there called, if they're going to do a reading assessment, they can't use the DRA2. They can't use any screenings to evaluate your kids. Now, you guys don't know what a screening is. Here's what I'm going to do. Look, Linda, look. Okay, I'm going to show you another trick that I use all the time, okay? Show you a trick. Well, you guys can find out what the assessment that they're planning on doing, what that is, in all fields, psychology, speech and language, everything, right? Okay, so this is what you do. Here, I went wrong. I'm going to give you the website. Now, when you go to this website, you pick the area, the domain, which could be psychological, it could be speech and language, it could be OT, it could be PT. Let me see what else they got on there. OT, PT, and early childhood. Okay, now clinical psychology covers everything. It covers behavior, it covers academic, it covers social, emotional, behavioral, covers everything. Okay, and then you get into speech and language, you get into other related services. Go to that website, okay? Make sure those wombats, if you don't know the name of the assessment, you write them an email and you tell them you want the name of the assessment. Once you get the name of the assessment, you can plug it in to that. You can go look it up on Pearson Clinical. Now, when you get to Pearson Clinical, you're so helpful. I waived it for my son, so I haven't been through this yet. What did you waive, girl? You can't waive reeval. You can't do that. Unwaive it. Rescind your signature. Rescind your waiving. No, you can't do that. But what you did is you told them they can't evaluate your kid. Yeah, that's not good, honey. They have to do, okay, here's the other thing you guys got to know. School, okay, they haven't sent that. It's the 3-year if they do it. Honey, they haven't sent what? They have to. That's the law. Did you see what I just sent you? 34 CFR 300.503. They have, if they're doing the 3-year reeval, they have to ask for permission to do it. They just can't go around doing assessments on your kid without consent and without telling you what they're doing it for. They're going to tell you the purpose, the location, the date, the time, and participants who are going to be there. They have to tell you what evaluations they're doing. They have to tell you everything. You know, there's nothing to waive. Unwaive that. No, because they can't make a decision, because that means there's no consent. There's no consent. They can't evaluate your kid now. Nope. No. You tell those wombats that you are rescinding whatever you told them they can't do. I don't know what you told them, but you undo that and you tell them that you want your child evaluated, you want your child reevaluated, and then you tell them all that stuff I told you to tell. That's what you do. Okay. Then now they have to comply because they weren't going to. According to you, what you told me, they haven't sent that. It is the 3-year they do every 3 years, yes. And every 3 years, like clockwork, they have to send you prior written notice that includes all that stuff I just said, that I just read to you, and the law that I provide you. They have to tell you what it's for, who's doing it, who's going to participate in it. They have to tell you the areas they're going to evaluate. And if you want, you can ask for meetings with each one of the evaluators to explain their evaluation and the purpose of their evaluation. They don't just get to do this stuff. And they have to put it in writing. And their evaluations, okay, now, for psychological evaluations, there's different websites that you can go to find out what each certified professional's evaluation is supposed to include. Yeah, each one of them. So if you're getting a psychological evaluation, you want to know in what areas. Because according to 34 CFR 300.304, they have to evaluate in all areas of suspected or known disability. So if you go to the school and you get a letter from the doctor and the doctor says your child's autistic, or your doctor says that your child has Down syndrome, or any disability, your child is dyslexic, they can't just limit the assessments based on that disability. They have to evaluate in all areas. If your child's autistic, they got to do everything. And I mean everything. There's no eyeball. That's another thing. If you're getting evaluations that the school districts are using their opinions, yeah, that's illegal. And you can get that thrown out so fast, it's disgusting. Leanne, a parent of mine that I trained, twice. She won independent evaluations funded by the school district and tens of thousands of dollars because they're stupid. They use their dumb opinions. Nobody cares nothing about your opinions. We don't have all of these evaluations and all these testing instruments. People didn't go through all kind of drama, becoming researchers and doing all these studies and doing all this stuff. So some teacher can do that. That's not nice. No. And just so everybody knows, it's the only thing we have known to man that can tell us what the norms are as far as intelligence goes. So yeah, they have to always, whenever the school district, unless you're getting a state test, the only time the district doesn't need your consent is when everybody in the school is getting the same test. Okay. For instance, they like to say like in New York, they said every kid got the DRA2. That's not true. Every kid in school got the DRA2 once. My client got it like 15,000 times in 1 year. That needs consent. Okay. Somebody's beeping, Tamara. You got it? Good. And I'm glad I'm helpful. But I'm a helpful kind of person. But anyway, but see, all of this is you creating a paper trail. Okay. Because I'm going to tell you something. When push comes to shove and they're standing up in front of the judge and they got nothing and you're slamming them like this with all kind of stuff, they look stupid. Just like my client in Philadelphia. She said it took every ounce of willpower not to smile and laugh while they couldn't answer the questions. When the judge asked, when was the last time the kid was in school? 2016. When was the last time this is the first time I've ever been here. And, I forgot to tell you, here's all the medically excused absences. Do you know how stupid they looked? But they don't care if they look stupid. Because their goal was to because they truly believe, I swear to God, I'm telling you the gospel, okay? They believe that anytime you question them and you challenge them, we're the bad guys. You're supposed to sit down, shut up, don't touch nothing, and accept everything these wombats give you. That's what you're supposed to do. I don't do that with anybody. Don't do it with anybody. I don't care who you are. You're not just going to tell me something and I'm just going to accept it. What the hell is wrong with you? Are you cray-cray? This is America. Well, the last time I looked, it's getting kind of shady now. I don't know what the hell's going on. Everybody's just accepting and just believing some stupid idiot. Why? And if you believe him, then there should be no problem with what the school district's doing with you. There should be absolutely no problem. I'm sorry. That's my position, and I shouldn't bring it in here, but it's just to let you guys know. This is what's going on. My whole class today was all about proving your theory. It was all about critical thinking. That's what you're doing. You're doing critical thinking. That's what everything is about. That's if you can't make a decision about the price of tea in China, you can't go food shopping. You can't pay any bills in your house to keep you in your home. You can't get behind the wheel of a car. You certainly can't take care of your children if you don't have critical thinking skills. And if you have them, do not let the school district or any school or anybody diminish you because you think critically. It's not a bad thing. Embrace it. I do. I love it. I love that I ask questions. Let me see. And the district is still fighting me about John taking a language. I told American Sign Language. Tell them to give you the documentation that he has. Tell him he's not taking it. He can barely speak English. He doesn't know this. Why is he doing it? Put it in writing. Prove your point. OSEP, you can get it. American Sign Language is a language. He can do it when he graduates. What does he need it for? What's he need it for? He doesn't need it right now. Is he going somewhere we don't know about? He can't, if he has a language issue, you can't make him take it. Tell them to take you to court. He's not taking it. He's going to fail it, and I don't care. You tell him I don't care. He's failing it. You don't sign him up. He's not taking it, and it's not true what they're telling you. I did it in Massachusetts. American Sign Language is a language. They need to get that for kids who can't speak the language because they have a language deficit. Ask them what the hell their problem is. American Sign Language teacher, I think it's cheaper than a speech and language pathologist, or the same, because God forbid they should think outside of the teensy-eensy little box they're all in. I hate people. I hate them all. I don't care. I'm on the warpath today because it just can't even. It's so amazing to me. Tonight, my class, my homework was about critical thinking, and I had to explain this in writing. And next week, I'm going to do this. My paper is going to include this, what I'm doing right now is I'm teaching you guys how to go support your theory. I'm going to teach you how to go find the resources that are credible and reliable to bury the school district so that you can support your argument, so that you can get the services. It doesn't matter. I'll tell you what, my theory is this. My motto is this. If I'm miserable, I'm going to make everybody else miserable. If my client's not getting an education, then I'll be goddamn. You people are all going to suffer the consequences because Tammy I'm a beast. I'm a beast when it comes to this stuff. Like right now, I'm filing this thing. I'm also filing against the board certified behaviorists that didn't write a behavior support plan after they wrote a functional behavioral assessment. They're in violation of National Certification Code of Conduct, a compliance code. That's their job. And these morons didn't do it because you know why? They're being paid by the school district not to do it. That's what I'm going to tell the BACB. Because what? They're stupid. They took the test. They're BCBAs and what? What? Now they just throw the baby out with the bathwater? Literally? No, we're not doing none of that. Not with my clients. You could do it. There's consequences. It's going to be consequences. It's going to be all bad for you guys. I don't care nothing about it. I'm sending the letter to them. Good. That's what you do. Send the letter. Okay, so let's get back to how do you correspond with these people? Okay, earlier Tamara brought up something. It's really cool. And it was about they were what were they doing? They weren't sending her any emails. And so I wish I could have seen my daughter's principal's face the other day because she told a teacher who is a close friend of mine, and she said she couldn't wait until my daughter was in middle school, and her face changed when she found out I have 2 more. Good. Punishment. That's what they get. Consequence. That's what they get. But anyway, so what we have to do as parents and advocates for our kids, when they do something, it's like playing tennis. They hit the ball to you, you got to hit it back to them. But you got to hit it back to them where they can't return it. And you get the point, okay? Just like I told the mother that went to court. You won. They went into the truancy court thinking that the hearing officer the judge was going to issue a truancy order against you and you were going to have to pay $450. And then what? Because apparently that judge couldn't even issue an order for the parent to go to school, to force the kid to go to school. They would have to go to another judge. So truancy and a fine means the kid goes to school. What the hell is wrong with people? Seriously, what's wrong with you people? I'm not talking about you guys, I'm talking about them. Stupid is running rampant right through our damn educational system and all of our government offices. It's just, stupidity is just unbelievable. I swear to God, I'm going to find a way how to use the fact that everybody's stupid to be a rich woman. That's what I'm going to do. That's my goal. That's my goal. Because they're just dumb. I'm so happy, damn are good. Torture them. See, if you get this right now, the next two kids that are coming up, if you have problems with them, then you already know what the next steps are. You can anticipate their next move. Well, that's another thing. You guys are paying attention to them, you can anticipate their next move. They don't change their MO for nothing. They do the same thing every year, every day with your kid. They don't care. They're dumb. You have to anticipate their next move. And I'm telling you, if you're watching them, you'll know what it is if you see them. You got to pay attention, though. And that's how I learned all the laws off the top of my head. Every single school district in the United States violates the exact same laws because they're stupid. But they're really not stupid. You know why? Because they know you guys don't know. As soon as you guys start pushing back, now you're the bad person. And what we have to start saying to them is, I wasn't the bad person when I wasn't saying nothing. See, when I was sitting down, shutting up and not sticking up for my kids' rights, then I'm a good person. Because I'm letting you do your non-job. Because, see, you get paid. They get paid. Whether your kid gets educated or not. Did you know that? It's the only job in America that I know that a person can go to work every day, and it doesn't matter what the outcome is. They still get a paycheck at the end of the year. It doesn't matter if they're totally incompetent and not one kid in the classroom got an education. That teacher will get the same paycheck no matter what. What is the incentive for those teachers to go to school other than their own integrity and their own self-respect, which apparently not too many of them have? And we can tell that just by looking at what's going on with all these kids. What to do when you send 5-7 emails to the district they want part. Now you take it up a notch. Now you send it to the school district, okay? You include a few more names. You include the school district, the state special ed director, and OSA. And I have not received an answer from the school district. That's how you get them. I know, honey. But you know what? I don't like being right. I don't. But that's what you do. They won't reply. They will reply. Or the other thing you can do is send that sucker certified returned receipt so they have to sign for it. You have to create that paper trail any way you can. Now you include more people. That's all. Include the superintendent too. Is there a serious problem with you people not answering my emails? Maybe you have to, it depends on what the question is. That's another thing. So, they don't like you? Oh, you must be doing your job. Yeah, that's what I told the mother. The next time I had to tell her, this is what I tell people. When they say I'm doing all these bad things, first I say, are you suggesting that I don't exercise my right to dispute your decisions? Is that what you're saying to me? Well, no, we're not saying that. Oh, okay, good. So let me see if I get this right. So you're angry that I should be offended, or I should feel some kind of way because you don't like me? Do I represent you? No, I don't. So I don't care if you don't like me. It's none of my business. I don't like you either, and that's none of your business. I have no respect for you. You have no integrity. You have exhibited virtually, absolutely no character whatsoever. So yeah, no, I don't care. The only incentive is tying their vows to the state testing results, but that's another story. Yeah, it is, but you know what? That don't work either because they're stupid. What we need to do is get the feds involved more often. The more you people start sending emails to the feds that are attached to, that include the state, because this is what you do. This is what I just did. When I send my emails now and nobody's listening to me because they want to be jerks. So what I do is sometimes it's what I'm asking. See, sometimes, hey, Patrice, I've been talking about you, girl. Sometimes it's the reason why they're not answering you is because of the way you're asking the question, right? So What you have to do is formulate a question that both the state special ed director, the school special ed director, and OSA, there's only one answer. You know what the answer is. See, there's a trick. And if you've been listening to MSNBC, you guys will know a lot of stuff about me. So lawyers have a thing. They have a saying. No lawyer asks a question he doesn't already know the answer to. It's a tactic. That's it. Because what you ask the question. Because here's my thing. Because by the time you get done building the what do you call it? Patrice can testify to this. By the time you get to the court date, you got a stack of records this big. And what's going to happen is, you see, because you don't have any standing, even though you're the parent, blah, 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 blah. So you go to court, you really don't have any standing because it's the school district that has all the power, because the school district was designated as the authority and power over education. You don't know shit. That's the way the judges look at it. That's the way they all look at it. So you got to come correct. My girl went to court. She said she had a stack this big. And we put it in order. I told her, the first thing you got to say at the top of your head, the first thing comes out of your mouth is, when they say the kid's been out of school, you say, here's the medically excused absences dating back to 2011, and about 5 of them were just this year. You know what I mean? Judge eyes this big. They look stupid. What do you mean you have, because you can't be truant if you're medically excused. And wait, it gets better. So, it's about changing the name of the teacher on the report card. Are you kidding me? Okay, we're going to talk. I don't know what that is. I can't remember. I know you told me about that before, but I can't remember. But you're going to tell me more about that. But anyway, so when you go into court, if you got your ducks all lined up, if you know what the issue is, and you got your ducks lined up, when you go in front of a judge or you go in front of a hearing officer, you won't be scared. You'll be confident as hell because you got all the answers. You got the questions, you got the answers, you know what they're going to say because they play the same game all the time. They've been doing it to you for years. You know what to expect. You're the bad parent. Ooh, that's a big shot. Tammy Joya. Ooh. Oh, please. I've been called names by better people than them. I don't even care, okay? They can kiss my hiney. I don't care nothing about what it used to bother me. Years ago, it bothered me. Not so much. I figured it out. The reason why they're calling me names is because they got nothing else. Now, these are grown people. These grown folks, okay? Calling me names because they're incompetent. Because I keep it real. I'm not calling them out their name. But I am saying they're incompetent. They couldn't teach a bunch of fleas at a flea market. They can't teach nothing. They couldn't be, they can't do anything, okay? And so I let them know I have zero respect for you. You have no integrity. You have no character. I don't even know why you're in this field. Why? So you're in this field to deliberately torture little defenseless little children with disabilities. Serious? Somebody up there is waiting for you. You got a lot of explaining to do, Ricky. Go ahead. You keep messing with little defenseless children. That's not nice. See, Tammy, I'm paying it forward. So you can talk about me all you want. But I know who's watching out for Tammy. Okay? I'm fighting a good fight. What you doing? You dirty old rotten, no good for nothing piece of doo-doo. What are you doing? Taking candy from babies? Nice. Nice. And you call yourself what? You think you're all big and bad because you're some stupid special ed director? Really? It doesn't take that much to be a special ed director. Okay, I was offered the job and I didn't even have a degree. I fooled the psychologist at the school. She thought I had a degree. I don't care. Everybody knew I didn't have one at the time. Stupid idiots. They make me sick. So yes, having the paper trail, that's when you get vindicated. Because when you're standing up in front of them, then you'll know too. Because if you got the paperwork, like what happened to this lady, this mother, when she went in front of the judge and the judges, she found all kind of excuses why she couldn't make an answer right now. She could make an answer. The answer is the child wasn't truant. The school district's at fault. And if she issues that, guess what? We already knew what our next step was. Our next step was we was appealing. Anytime you go to a court, I don't care what it is, truancy, I don't care what it is. Anytime you have to step in front of a judge, if a judge has to make a decision, there's an appeal process. Sure enough, PA, truancy, appeal. That's all I typed into Google. Came right up. We knew the next thing we were doing before she even went to court. 24 hours before she went, I called her, hey, we got appeal rights. Don't worry about nothing. Whatever she says, we're going to appeal in 30 days, and she's screwed because she's going to look like an idiot. Because the next level was going to be in the court that the judge gave me guardianship. So I'm going to be in front of the judge that I filed truancy against the school district because they wouldn't. And the judge told me he couldn't do anything about it because it wasn't before him. And it wasn't an appealable case because there was no decision. So this is what you have to do all the time, okay? You always have to, there's always going to be a fight. I want you guys to all understand that. This is not going to stop. Even when they age out, even when they're 22, you're always going to need support. Most of the, I shouldn't say most. A lot of our kids are going to need support. Now, there are kids who have ADD or dyslexia, but not the disabilities like autism and social skills issues and cognitive delay and all of that stuff. Those kids are going to need lifelong support and services. Now, they're all different levels. Even the kid with ADD could need mass rehab. If your child is 14 in Massachusetts, your child's supposed to be assessed for a transitional assessment, and it includes where your child's going after he graduates from high school or ages out of special education. There's an actual thing that they have to do. And there's a toolkit. It's called the transitional age of I forgot the name of it. It has to do with transitional assessment. And it's under 34 CFR 300.43. Under federal law, if your child is 16, they have to do an assessment. It's called a transitional assessment. And it includes all areas of function of when your child ages out. So what your child's going to do when they get out of school, okay? And what, if any, agencies, public agencies may be needed who may be able to help with funding of any kind of service, like the Department of Public Health, the Department of Mental, what is it? They call it, in Massachusetts, it was the Department of Mental Retardation, and they changed the name to Developmental Disabilities, and mass rehab. There's a whole bunch of state agencies that could be, so that they provide housing, they provide transportation, they provide day programs for these individuals, adults with disabilities. So these people all have to come to the table. By the time your kid's 18, they have to send this form out and they have to do it. Hey, Zach, the teacher said if you are not scheduled for a conference, your child has their report card in an envelope in their homework folder. Well, I don't understand any. Okay, let me see it again. The teacher said if you are not scheduled for a conference, your child has their report card in an envelope in their homework folder. I don't know what that means. Well, are they saying you can't have a team meeting because it's not scheduled? They didn't schedule it? You can have a team meeting anytime you want. Okay? There's no law that says they can't. Tell them to, if that's what you're saying, tell them to send you the policy, the written policy and procedure that you can only have one team meeting and only the school district can schedule it. That you can't request one. Tell them to send you that policy. Then I want you to send that policy to OSEP because that's a lie. You can have as many as you want and it has to be mutually convenient for all parties. Mutually convenient is big for team meeting process.